Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're doing a Shaddoll Dinosaur deck profile. So this is a really cool deck that basically summons these two awesome boss monsters, which is Shaddoll Construct and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. The deck also works really well because you also have a bunch of different attributes in your dinosaur monsters to be able to special summon all your different Shaddoll monsters from the extra deck, which is amazing in this deck. So, without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next to become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, like getting your name description of every single video, getting a signed card sent to the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile just like this one every single month that you are a patron. So, without further ado guys, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing two copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is the big boss monster of the entire deck besides Shaddoll Construct. And what it does is you banish two dinosaur monsters from your graveyard, and then you can special summon this card to your side of the field. Then you can destroy a monster in your hand or field, and if you do, you change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense. And then it can attack all monsters your opponent controls that are in face-down defense once each, which is really, really cool. Or all monster opponent controls, it can attack all of them once each, and at the start of the damage step, if it attacks a face-down defense position monster, you inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent, and send that defense position monster to the graveyard. That is really good. If they have 6 monsters on their side of the field, and none of them are link monsters, because it can't flip link monsters in the face-down defense, it can just swing over everything and inflict 6,000 points of damage to your opponent. This card is a 1-card OTK by itself. So, then we play a single copy of Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Pankratops is really good because it can special summon itself to your side of the field, and then you contribute it to destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field, which is really good to be able to do. I like being able to use that card, and it's searchable in the deck, so you just need it as a 1-of, because it's at 1 right now, unfortunately. We then play a single copy of Dolgaran. Dolgaran's searchable as well, and getting that 1-of Kaiju removal is really nice. 1 copy of Giant Rex as well. Giant Rex is really good because if it's banished, you can special summon it to your side of the field, but it does have the unfortunate effect that it can attack your opponent directly. We then play 3 of the best card in the entire deck, and then it's 3 copies of Soul Eating Oviraptor. Hopefully they never hit this card. But what it does is, if it's normal or special summon, you can take a dinosaur monster and add it to your hand, or send it to the graveyard. And then you can target one other level 4 or lower dinosaur monster on the field and destroy it. Then special summon 1 dinosaur monster from your graveyard in defense position. And you can only use each of its effects once per turn, of its name effects. So you can't special summon it multiple times and just get multiple Oviraptors, which makes the card a little bit more balanced. Then we play 3 copies of Miscellaneousaurus. Miscellaneousaurus is really good in this deck because it can help you special summon out your other dinosaur monsters. You can discard it during your main phase, to make it so that during this phase, your dinosaur monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, which is really good to just stop your opponent from doing all sorts of stuff against your monsters. I really like that ability to just prevent them from doing all sorts of stuff against you, and it really helps out. And you can also banish this card from your graveyard and any number of dinosaur monsters from your graveyard to special summon a dinosaur monster from your deck to equal to the level of the monsters banished, which is why Giant Rex comes in so handy, because you can banish a Giant Rex and the Miscellaneousaurus and like 2 other dinosaurs to special summon out your copy of Soul Eating Oviraptor and then combo off from there, or banish just the copy of the Soul Eating or the just the copy of the Miscellaneousaurus and special summon out one of your level 1 dinosaur monsters that we play in the deck as well. We then play 1 copy of Petite Pterodon. Petite Pterodon is really good because if this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 4 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck, but it can't attack this turn, which is not that big of a deal. We have plenty of cards to summon. Usually you're going to summon Pankratops off of this card the majority of the time, so that's why I play this card as a 1-up. We then play 2 copies of Baby Ceratosaurus. Baby Ceratosaurus, if it's destroyed, then you sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 4 lower dinosaur monster from your deck, which is really cool as well, but it can attack. So usually you're going to use the Baby Ceratosaurus more than you're going to use the Petite Pterodon to be able to pop your dinosaurs that are in your hand with stuff like Lost World and other stuff like that. Then I play 1 copy of the, I call it the Orby dinosaur because it looks like a bunch of Orbeez, but I play this card as a 2-of because it does search Double Evolution Pill, but I feel like I only need 2 of it because at 3 it clogged me when I playtested it at 3, but at 2 it was just fine. What it does is if this card is normal or special summon, you can destroy 1 dinosaur monster in your hand or face up in your field and then add from your deck to your hand 1 reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast monster with the same original level as that destroyed monster. Or an evolution pill spell from your deck to your hand. So what you're usually going to do is pop the Ceratosaurus or your Petite Pterodon and then immediately add your double evolution pill from your deck to your hand to be able to go off with other plays. And it just helps out so much. to be able to do that. And then the Baby Ceratosaurus is going to special summon out your Soul Eating Oviraptor, or the Petite Pterodon is going to special summon out the Soul Eating Oviraptor, and then you're going to trigger the effect of the Soul Eating Oviraptor to be able to send dinosaurs from your deck to the graveyard, and then it just snowballs from there. Then we play one copy of the Drac Yugioh, which is really good. What this card does is it's basically just a level 1 tuner to help us go into Trishula. That's all it does. We then play a Shaddoll package in the deck, which is 2 copies of Windy. If she's flip face up, you special summon a Shaddoll from the deck and face up or face down defense. And if she's sent to the graveyard, you special summon a Shaddoll and face down defense. 2 copies of Shaddoll Beast. If it's sent to the graveyard, you draw 2 and then discard 1. And if it's flip face up, you draw 2, discard 1. If it's sent to the graveyard, you draw a card. 1 copy of Shaddoll Dragon. If it's flip face up, you can pulse a card to your opponent's side of the field and send it back to the hand. And if it's discarded to the graveyard or sent to the graveyard, you get to pop a spell or trap. And then 2 copies of Squamata. Squamata is really good because it's a Foolish Burial if it's sent to the graveyard for another Shaddoll monster. And if it's flip face up, you destroy a card on the field, which is really good. So in total, you're playing about 7 Shaddolls in the deck. I really like the 7 Shaddoll package. If you feel like you're playing too many, you can drop maybe a Beast. I'm playing a 42 card deck. You could potentially drop Beast and Dragon if you wanted to drop that. But I feel like if you do that, the Windy's not going to be quite as live in this deck. So I keep it at this ratio right here. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Foolish Burial because it makes all of your cards live, essentially. Your Miscellaneousaurus and all your Shaddoll monsters become really live. You can just activate this card and send a Windy to graveyard, and she just special summons any of your Shaddolls face down, which is really good. 1 copy of Terraforming to search our Lost World from the deck. 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill. It is searchable, and it's really good to banish. You banish a dinosaur and a non-dinosaur monster from your hand or graveyard, and then you special summon a level 7 or higher dinosaur monster from your hand or deck, ignoring his summoning conditions, which is always going to be your ultimate Conductor Tyranno. You're always going to summon that off of this. 3 copies of Fossil Dig, which is going to let you search any level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. This card's insanely good just to be able to add cards like your Soul Eating Oviraptor and stuff like that directly to your hand, or one of the babies that you need to pop. 3 copies of Lost World. Lost World's a really neat card. I played this card at 3 because I wanted to try and build Lost World Shaddoll Dinos, and it works. I mean, it's really good in the deck. It makes all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except for Dino monsters, so that's something you kind of got to be aware of. But with Shaddoll Construct, she doesn't really care because she just attacks over anything anyways because she destroys it by card effect. Winda's the only one that it kind of is counterproductive to lose that 500 attack points, but if you're not playing in the mirror match, it doesn't really make a difference. But what this card does is once per turn, if a dinosaur type monster is normal or special summon, then you can special summon a token to your opponent's side of the field that's level 1/0/0, which is really good. And then while your opponent controls a token, they cannot target monsters on the field with card effects except the tokens, which is pretty good to be able to protect your other monsters. And then it also has the ability that once per turn, if a normal monsters on the field would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can destroy as many dinosaur monsters from your hand or deck instead, which can be the babies that you're going to be destroying in the deck, to be able to special summon out Soul Eating Oviraptor and your other Shaddoll or your other dinosaur monsters that are in the deck, which is really good. So then we're going to be playing 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion to be able to go off into our Shaddoll plays and the Construct and our Windas to be able to just go off with those cards. 2 copies of L Shaddoll Fusion. It is a smaller Shaddoll package, so you need less fusion spells in the deck. And then 3 copies of Super Polymerization, because Super Polymerization is really good, because all you have to do is essentially normal summon out. If your opponent has a lighter dark monster you need to get rid of, you can just normal summon out one of your Shaddoll monsters and then immediately activate Super Poly, discard a card, and then fusion summon away one of your monsters and one of their monsters. But if they have 2 dark monsters on their side of the field, you can get rid of 2 cards on their side of the field as well with the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. But if you don't want to main this and you want to side it, it would carry the deck down to 39, so you could drop something else in here like another copy of Shaddoll Fusion or another one of those Orby Dinosaurs if you want to play another one of those. That is your options if you guys want to play a 40 card deck, is to side this, play another Orby Dinosaur, or play another copy of Shaddoll Fusion if you really want to go for that extra fusion plays. That's just a suggestion, but I like it the way it is. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Shaddoll Construct because she's really, really easy to go into, because you can use cards like the Orby Dinosaur, you can use cards like your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is very rare that I use it, or cards on your opponent's, or cards that you're going to be able to use with Super Polymerization to go into your Shaddoll Construct. She's really good because she can attack over anything that's special summoned, which is really, really good. And she also has the ability that when she's fusion summoned, you get to send a Shaddoll from your deck to the graveyard, which is really good. And if she's sent to the graveyard, graveyard, then you get to add a Shaddoll spell or trap directly from your graveyard back to your hand. Now, the one you're going to be summoning the majority of the time is Winda. Winda makes it so that you and your opponent can only special summon once per turn, and then she can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and if she's sent to the graveyard, then you get to add a Shaddoll spell or trap directly from your graveyard back to your hand. And a single copy of a Pokelone. A Pokelone's really good. I just feel like she's a one-of in this deck because she's good, but she's kind of hard to get into because you've got the Windy and you've got stuff like that. That is, you got to have Windy or you got to have a monster that your opponent special summoned, and it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it's just a good combo piece. You're never going to just leave this card on the field because she can't be destroyed by battle, which is good, but you can target a monster on the field and destroy it, or not destroy it, but negate its effects. And if she's sent to the graveyard, you add a Shaddoll card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and then you have to discard a card. Really good card. I really love this card. I use it sometimes, but I usually just summon Winda or Construct instead. One copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon because you can use Super Poly to summon this card really easily. One copy of Logia because it can negate spells or traps or special summons, which is really good, or normal summoning. Just, it's basically Judgment, but speed spell 2, just by detaching 2 materials. One copy of Dolka. Dolka negates a monster effects by detaching a material, which is good. I really like that and destroying it, so I just play them at 1 and 1. One copy of Abyss Dweller just to shut our opponent's graveyard down, and a single copy of number 60 because number 60 lets us draw 2, discard 1, or double the attack of a monster, which is really good because if you double the attack of Ultimate Conductor to 7,000 or 7,000, and then attack your opponent directly, it's GG, just pretty much. I mean, this is going to follow it in with like 1,200, and it's like, yeah, get him. I mean, it's like, he's like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno's cheerleader. We then play a single copy of Borrelsword just to help us OTK because the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno apparently isn't enough. One copy of Unicorn because you can spin stuff with it. Cross Sheep because it works in every single fusion deck in the entire game, and this is definitely a fusion-based deck. And you can also get off its XYZ effect, which is sometimes, and all monsters your opponent control lose 700 attack, which can be really good, especially with comboing it with Lost World. Is really funny because they lose a total of 1,200, which is funny on your turn. Verte Anaconda because it works with Super Poly and it makes it easy to use the copies of Winda with Super Polymerization to go into Winda or go into Starving Venom. It's really easy. If your opponent has something that's like a light monster and a dark monster on their side of the field, and you summon Verte Anaconda with Super Poly, you can just change the monster to dark and then instantly fusion summon into Starving Venom because they have 2 dark monsters on the field now because this makes them dark. And then finally a single copy of Trishula, which is what we use to go in with the Dirac tuner monster. We just use this card with 2 level 4 monsters in the deck to go into the Trishula, and it's really, really easy to go into. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really fun deck to play around with. I highly recommend that you guys try out Shaddolls. I might try and build pure Shaddolls, or not pure Shaddolls, but pure Dinos once the structure decks come out, but I'm probably not going to do it anytime soon until the structure decks get reprinted because I only have 1 set of these and I really like playing around with this. So I'll try and build the pure build once we get out the reprints of the Shaddoll or the Dino Smasher structure deck, which I think will be a good time to do it anyway. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near the bar notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.